That's pretty good serve +1 from Auger-Aliassime to start things. Serves out wide. He's almost saying, look, you're 33 years old. I'm going to make you run a long distance at every point.
How about this memory from Felix? He said, I came once as a spectator to the U.S. Open. In 2011, I was just a kid. We got tickets for the center court, Ash Stadium. Andy was playing Lopez in a night match, and I got to see him in the 3rd round. He said it was a huge memory of his. He can't believe he's on this court now, playing this guy he watched for the first time as a little boy.
I actually can't believe that he can't believe it. I think he believed he was going to be out here at some point.
Oh, boy.
I mean, weapons are sort of everywhere with Auger-Aliassime. Both sides he can hit with power. He came to IMG Academy not 2019 offseason, but 2018. And I kept using him as an example for our kids to watch how wide his base is when he's setting up to hit shots. And it's right from the start for him. He doesn't warm up slowly and lazily. He actually is in that perfect position at all times. He's a real professional for such a youngster.
Explain that to me. First of all, explain your role at the Academy, Jimmy Arias, but also why is he Exhibit A? Tell me a little bit more about what you like about him.
Okay. My role is I'm director of tennis there when I'm not talking with you, Mary, here. And I just think the part of the game that's so important is footwork and is balance and your base. If you're going to be a good tennis player, you have to have those things. And a lot of kids think that they're in a good wide base, but they're not. Their feet are close together and they're easily knocked off balance. Auger-Aliassime, the way he sets up, even when he's warming up, huge base, and I wanted to show all the kids that.
Now I'll be watching it too.
Early going, he's kind of overpowering Murray slightly once the rally starts. Murray can't fall back into that sort of defensive way of playing that he played his whole career any longer, because I just think he has lost a half a step still. He's gotten better, but he's still not what he was when he was vying for these titles.
So if he can't leg out the wins he used to be able to do, where does he attack from?
Yeah,
where does he lean on his shots?
Yeah, he's got to just get more aggressive, especially obviously with that, but with both his backhand and forehand.
Rainy night, huh?
Yes, tough night out there, but we got a roof, so life is good in here.
We got a roof, we got masks, we got disinfectants.
We got it all.
Bring it on.
I mean, Murray's, I don't know if this is a sign that his legs are gone already, but he's serving up just cheese so far. He's hit a 74-mile-an-hour serve and an 83-mile-an-hour serve. His biggest serve so far has been 105. I don't know if that's the strategy or if something's up with his legs. That was better.
He got to use the emergency ice bath. They're trying to keep the players away from that, obviously, during COVID, but there is one here, and he did get to use it And then he did it again, and he's only had light hits since that long first-round match against Nishioka. He said he felt so much better after that war than he did against Hakoop in Australia a couple of years ago. But that's interesting. It's an interesting observation you make, Jimmy. So if your legs are tired, if you're sore, you don't just see it in the running, you see it in the serve.
You can, yes. But he's fine because he just hit 125-mile-an-hour serve. So he's just taking a second. And his second serve, he is a guy that has a pretty big disparity between his first and second serve. He can throw some real nervous-looking dink second serves.
Murray said he was struggling in that first round to pace himself. He said that's why it was such a slow start. That's why he lost the first couple of sets.
It's sort of a different matchup than that first round. The first round match, he was playing a guy that would stay there all day and just defend. And so he had to figure out ways to win the points. In this match, it looks as though he's coming in with the attitude of, I'm going to put the ball in, I'm standing 50 feet behind the baseline, and I'm going to hope to get Auger-Aliassime to overhit and make some unforced errors.
You can hear it on the roof.
Yes, sir.
Is this New York or Florida? It's a Florida rainstorm.
It's a car wash. It really is. What preparation! He's so well taught.
He
this
is.
Kid, isn't he?
He is.
Where do you aim? I mean, where do you hope to get more errors off of this ground game?
Yeah, it's hard to answer because he does make errors with both. He hits both sides aggressively, and both sides can misfire. It would help Murray if he could get the first serve percentage a little higher than the 29% that he's thrown in there so far. But poor serving continues. If you're Auger-Aliassime, you almost have to break serve when someone's giving you 6-second serves to work with in a game.
Yes, sir.
Judy Murray was on BBC Radio after Andy's first round win and told them that Andy needed an injection to drain the blood buildup under his toenails.
Ugh.
Yeah, which evidently happens.
toenails are going to get bloody again if he continues to play that far behind the baseline, because Auger-Aliassime is going to control a lot of these points. He's going to push Murray around.
Game, Auger-Aliassime leads 2 games to love for set.
One thing about playing Andy Murray is a 2-set to love. Forget 2 games to love lead, but even a 2-set to love lead isn't safe. He's come back many times. He's an amazing competitor.
He's been on this court plenty. This is the first time Auger-Aliassime has ever played on ash.
So without the crowd, it just doesn't have obviously the same amount of adrenaline for Auger-Aliassime as it might have if this was the night match that you normally get in New York.
So it's
with
not
the
as
full crowd.
intimidating?
I don't think so. I don't even know if it counts.
I liken this experience as the difference between watching a movie in a theater with a whole bunch of other strangers waiting for something big to happen, and watching a movie on a plane with a glass of wine and a little dish of nuts. I like them both, by the way.
Yeah, they're both fun.
They're both fine, but they're very different experiences, aren't they?
Yep. See, Murray's trying to coax some double faults out of Auger-Aliassime early on because he's standing in a little further than he normally does for second serve return. He's almost asking him go for a bigger second serve and hoping to get a double fault. So far, he hasn't given him the double fault, but a little pressure on Auger-Aliassime's serve at 30-all.
Fifth winner, sixth winner for Aliassime.
I mean, he's dictating, isn't he?
Murray hasn't hit a winner yet.
No. It's up to Auger-Aliassime who wins these points in the early stages. Second serve.
What a clean, impressive start for Felix Auger-Aliassime. A junior match between Aliassime and Stefanos Tsitsipas, who ended up winning that match. Had you heard of Tsitsipas at that time?
No idea.
Okay.
I just went because I was working for a Canadian network, and I knew I would have to learn how to, first of all, say Auger-Aliassime. And I wanted to know what type of game he had, and he won in straight sets. Two close sets, but straight sets. It's the first point in the match where Murray actually was dictating, had control.
15 minutes.
Time and again in this early part of the set, with Aliassime was gaining the court with his shots. Murray got something to work with there. Beautiful.
I mean, Murray's he's stuck a little too far back right now. He's getting pushed back. That time he got a little unfortunate because there was a mishit return that backed him up, but Murray isn't able to sort of reposition himself. It's Auger-Aliassime that just keeps peppering the ball with pace and depth. Starting a dialogue with his box, and usually you don't want to be in the box when he starts talking at you.
It's a bad box.
No, it's. And this is overpowering stuff from Auger-Aliassime to start. Helped by the fact that he's getting 80-mile-an-hour second serves and short in the box. He can't buy a first serve.
Yeah, he's serving at 31%. Amazon Prime UK is doing this really good series with Andy Murray, and he's sort of showing the U.S. Open around back home. And it was called Andy Murray Relaxing, but he's playing basketball and shooting, doing this and doing all the other stuff they got, golf for the, and he's cursing the whole time. It's all, well, it's bleeped out, but it is tremendous. It didn't look that relaxed.
I mean, look, he's
so good.
He's definitely intense.
He was handing it up, but I mean, that was, I think at this stage, especially in Great Britain, everyone knows who this guy is. He's Sir Andy. He's been knighted. Yes, and he can be a whinger and all of that. He's also a tremendous fighter, a great champion, very socially aware. So he knows how people see him. People like me love him.
I think people in general now love him, whereas they did not.
They didn't get him
most of his career. He was sort of the guy that no one cheered for in those big floor matchups, really. Except at Wimbledon. The crowd liked him there, obviously. But he showed that sort of human side a couple of times when he cried and after matches and and then crying when he thought he had to retire. Continuing to pour in New York, but luckily we have the roof.
15 love.
The difference between the way these two guys are going after their serves is night and day. Rain and shine.
Oh. Even sort of the intensity of their footwork. Auger-Aliassime very
15
quick
love.
as he's moving, and Murray feels as though he's lumbering slightly as he's starting this match. You were the volleyer, Mary. What went wrong there?
He was still moving a little too much for it. Man, look at that.
30.
That was 126.
Yeah. He's at a 130 today. His serve is actually improved. Now let's wait and see what happens when he throws in a double fault, if that starts to enter his psyche slightly.
Honestly, when he has his serving issues, they come in clusters.
They do.
Right? All of a sudden, and it's not necessarily pressure points or anything like that.
You're right.
It's odd. But so far, he's looking very strong on serve.
6 aces already.
Another.
Wow.
That was the area that Murray said he was going to try to capitalize on, the serving. Not yet. You see the USOpen.org signage behind Andy Murray. That's where you can find all kinds of scores and draws, updates. It's a good app, USOpen.org.
Like for service.
So Aliassime is serving at 60%. He's won every one of his first serves, and he's got 7 aces. Murray, he's serving at 31%.
He's actually doing a great job winning second serve points so far. I mean, 55%, and he's starting the point off a little bit on the defensive. Not that time, not as clean of a return from Auger-Aliassime. Murray took advantage.
That win the other night from 2 sets down to Nishioka, that marked the 10th time Murray had come back from 2 sets to love down. When I tell you who he shares that record with,
15.
you won't be that surprised by the names. Boris Becker, Roger Federer, and
Krickstein?
And Aaron Krickstein.
I thought it could be, because I know he was the king of coming back from 2 sets to love down.
10 times Krickstein did
That's
that
amazing.
too. Yeah.
Sort of goes to show you that I'd love for the majors. All sports are trying to make things a little shorter, a little quicker. I like the 3 out of 5 sets in tennis because the better player wins most of the time. The more fit player wins. All those type of things come into play that you would sort of lose if it was 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 sets, you can get hot for a minute and take out a player that is normally slightly better than you. And I think that's why you've seen those big 3 and 4 in their heyday. They were unbeatable, sort of, in these 3 out of 5 set majors. often see Murray be rushed just purely by pace. And that's what happened on that forehand. He felt the sting. So pull away as he went to hit that forehand. Quite a stat. Auger-Aliassime, even off first serves, making virtually every return Murray. I mean, he's been ace 7 times, so I guess he's 2 for 2 when he touches it. Just watching early on, it feels as though Murray's legs weigh 1,000,000 pounds right now. They're stuck to the ground. Could be the losing blood flow because the shorts are fairly tight.
Oh. That's an interesting theory.
Just that's an Auger-Aliassime miss that are the kind that befuddle you slightly. He saw that Murray sort of went back to the forehand corner. He didn't have to hit it close to the line. He just had to hit it in. Well, if you are tired, it takes more energy to serve. And all the long games so far have been on Andy Murray's serve. Auger-Aliassime has served 1 game more than Murray. Murray's had 26 points when serving. Auger-Aliassime only 15. And Murray has to hit 2 serves every single point because he can't make any first serve, so that also takes energy.
Murray holds 4-2.
It's 4 games to 2 for set.
Is that Pospisil? It's hard to tell. In the blue shirt.
I don't think it is, but he had a big win over Milos Raonic today.
He did.
It's a bit of a surprise because Raonic had played so well.
Shows you how playing your countrymen, sometimes you feel a little extra pressure when you're the favorite. Yeah, that's quite a stat Our little graphic there, 100% of the points on first serve. Auger-Aliassime has won. Murray struggling when he gets his first serve, and so I guess it doesn't matter that he's serving such a poor percentage. He's doing much better on second serves. That was the jinx of bringing up that graphic, because he's just lost his first point on a first serve.
Murray's still looking for his first winner.
13 for Auger-Aliassime already. Actually, if Murray physically isn't feeling badly, this is somewhat encouraging for him in a sense that he hasn't done anything yet, hasn't played well, hasn't served well. And there's no way Auger-Aliassime is going to continue serving 67% first serve percentage. So things can get better for Murray, I think, as this goes on.
You're saying he's playing the long game.
I think. Yes, especially with the reaction after he held serve in the last game and he did a little come on, just did again. He's trying to get into the head of the youngster a little here. So good. Scary, but good.
He had pretty much the same game, Auger-Aliassime, as a kid.
Yes.
It looks like
he was just smaller.
Yes.
But
Felix reached 5 junior Grand Slam finals and had, you know, all those youngest ever records. He's got a bunch of them. He was 14 when he played his first challenger. That's the youngest. He's now 5-2 against Andy Murray. 2012 U.S. Open champ Andy Murray serving with new balls, trying to serve to stay in this opening set.
Looked a little slow, Murray, that time on the hit the serve only 110 miles an hour and then didn't react as quickly as he normally does. That's one too many times, but just sort of cheesing in the slice first serve, and that time Auger-Aliassime was sitting on it.
It did sit up.
Yeah, it was perfect. It
cheese.
was pretty perfect. Hasn't shown me, Murray, they can hit the flat one out to the backhand side yet today. Just went for it. Still hasn't made it. I really think Auger-Aliassime's not accustomed to 70 and 80-mile-an-hour serves. He's off balancing a little early on that return. It's happened a couple times on second serve returns. Murray can't win a first serve point. He's 38% when he gets his first serve in, but he's winning almost 70% of the second serve points. Not that time. I think maybe that's all Auger-Aliassime has to do. Instead of trying to take it very early, he hits with enough power off that second serve that he can stand. You saw him that time 3 feet behind the baseline and still crushed a winner return.
Some heavy messaging going on here with these returns. A 6-2 first set for the young Canadian. Qualified a couple of years ago and then played his great friend Shapovalov, another Canadian, in the first round and had to retire. Turns out he'd been having some kind of a heart condition. And he didn't want to retire, of course, and it was his dream to play the Open. Shapovalov was great to him at the net, patting him, hugging him, saying, "Don't worry, buddy, we'll both be back here a lot." He was right. Shapovalov playing pretty well.
He is.
Yeah.
He had a little bit of a down time, but I think he got Mikhail Yuzhny on his side, and he's steadied Shapovalov slightly. That's a somewhat important game for Murray to try to turn momentum around, put a little doubt in the youngster's mind. Uh-oh. There's what you were talking about. Let's see if that, because that was mistimed. That rhythm was completely off on that second serve. And sometimes when he does that once, he comes through with 2 or 3 more. So. Can't miss that if you're Murray. It's funny, when you lose a half step in your Murray, what he has to do is he keeps him backing up further and further to give him more time. He doesn't have to run as fast if he's 30 feet behind the baseline, but it gives Auger-Aliassime control of everything.
Of course, he's giving up court.
But I don't think he's quick enough right now to do anything about it.
His ninth ace, Aliassime takes the opening game of set 2. Honestly, if you don't hug the baseline the way so many players do now with their open stances and stuff, if you're giving up that back court, it means you've got more court to cover. So you might think, well, I don't want to work so hard to stay on the baseline, but then you're just adding to your work.
Yeah, it's a question of does he have the speed and the power to push off from closer up? And it doesn't look like he does right now. So he's decided I'm going to go back, but you're right, he's going to have to run further.
Yeah.
Auger-Aliassime looks as though he's now taking second serves further back. He's not taking the risk taking it early. He's just going to rip it from back here.
15 left.
Well struck backhand from Murray.
30 left.
It would be difficult to play Murray right now because you'd start looking at him. He's sort of waddling, looks as though he's in pain as he's walking, and you'll start thinking, "Ah, he's in trouble. I got this." And you don't want to go there mentally because Murray knows how to play possum.
All Belarusian second round match ended tonight with Victoria Azarenka, two-time Australian Open champion, two-time US Open finalist, taking out her countrywoman. Sabalenka easily, 1-3 to.
She's on quite a roll, Azarenka, all of a sudden.
She sure is. We were talking about how Felix lost a couple of years ago in the first round to Shapovalov, and he lost last year to him as well.
Badly last year, if I remember right.
Correct. And now, tomorrow, how about this matchup? Denis Shapovalov against Taylor Fritz.
Ooh.
That's not bad.
That's tasty as well.
Yeah, that's good.
You watch Murray, and he looks a little lazy at times, even though he's getting to every ball still. He's putting it in play. But the energy level between him and Auger-Aliassime is pretty stark. And Auger-Aliassime, that last point started copying Murray a little bit. Got to make sure you keep hearing his shoes squeaking. You can hear the difference in the intensity in their feet. It's Auger-Aliassime is squeaking as he's moving and setting up little steps. And Murray's sort of lumbering around.
Even when Andy Murray is not tired, he could look that way.
Yes, it's true.
Wait, please.
127. His fastest of the night has been 130. That's his 10th ace. He's never played on a main court at a major. And he's never had a big win at a major yet.
Flat.
But he's playing like this could be his night.
Flat for serve.
Too good.
22nd winner.
Mr. Murray, let's go.
Ooh.
Replay the point.
Wow, that was a point where you look at it and you say, this is a young buck that is ready to burst onto the scene playing against the guy that's near the end. And the way that movement and that point happened, Auger-Aliassime moved so well. The ball that Murray hit behind him stopped on a dime. It takes power to stop and push back off as well as he did that time.
If
I'm Auger-Aliassime, I think I'm waiting for a forehand return most of the time because Murray seems to be just sort of sliding in slice serves. Occasionally tries to bust one to the backhand, but he's been missing when he does. As soon as I say that, he makes it. But
That's a heat on it, too.
yeah, finally.
Flat. For serve.
Oh,
Doesn't make it.
30.
It's amazing how chip and charge almost never works any longer. But Murray has great instincts up at the net. Covered it easily. Tried to make it almost too good.
So 2-all. Judy Murray was a pretty good junior player in Scotland, so there wasn't a lot of competition. You know, the tennis wasn't big in Scotland, but she taught both her boys. Jamie as well had to play the game, but she said, you know, she didn't have any real formal training. She didn't feel like she could teach technique with any real authority. So she gave her kids 3 rules of tennis. I'm going to tell them to you.
She definitely didn't teach Jamie the forehand very well.
It's more made up than that. Here are her rules. Ready?
Yeah.
Make trouble.
Make trouble.
Make trouble. That's
Okay.
rule 1. Avoid trouble. That's rule 2. Rule 3, get out of trouble.
The key word is trouble. Murray's been in.
It's pretty good,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, not bad.
Make it, avoid it, get out of it.
These are the kind of inexplicable misses that Auger-Aliassime has from time to time.
Just going for too much.
Too much. He
Too
tries
big.
to hit it too hard.
Yeah, too big. Kids.
It's kind of funny when you think careers of quite a few players, they start out hitting the ball huge. Agassi comes to mind. Andy Roddick was crushing his forehand early on and later on put more spin. Agassi also quit trying to just crack winners. He almost wanted to beat you up physically by controlling the court, making you run. So maybe Auger-Aliassime will go in that route. And only hit the winner carefully like that one. Serving well today so far. No letdowns from Auger-Aliassime.
Talking about the numbers that describe this match. How many more winners Aliassime has than this guy. Azarenka beating Sabalenka earlier tonight. Their winners were pretty even. Azarenka had
15
9
more.
errors, and Sabalenka had 27.
Sabalenka knows that she should hit hard, and if that's not working, she hits it a little harder.
Exactly.
And it obviously wasn't working tonight. If you're Auger-Aliassime, you do not want to let Murray just sort of keep hanging around and we get down to the tight situation, and all of a sudden that's where you feel as Murray will find a way. He's so accustomed to finding a way in difficult spots. What is it that Judy's taught him?
Make trouble, avoid trouble, get out of trouble.
He does those things really well in the important moments.
Yes.
It's the easiest service hold I can think of for Murray. Could be the game here. You kind of called it. That had no business. It was going to go wide by about a foot. I mean, that was remarkably lucky. See if he takes advantage. Don't expect to see Murray miss a volley like that. Almost too casual. He just sort of ran through it.
Yeah. Got what he wanted, didn't he? But you know when your legs hurt, as someone who's been riding on rims for entirely too long, you run through stuff?
Yeah.
Because if you run hard, then you got to brake hard.
That's a good point. I like the outburst from Murray because it tells me he's here for the long haul. He knows this was a sort of a little bit of a shaky moment from Felix and hasn't taken advantage. Got a little unlucky that that second serve that should have been a double wasn't. Oh.
That falls wide.
30.
Good stab volley just to stay in there and nearly able to handle that swinging volley from Murray. But again, 30 all. First real bit of pressure that Auger-Aliassime has had in this match. He's been in control until this moment.
I do wonder if this place is packed with fans. I mean, obviously, a a lot of them would be cheering for this guy. Everybody follows tennis knows the Murray story, but Auger-Aliassime is so likable. I mean, there's nothing booable about this kid.
No, there's not, but you got to believe with Murray. They know they're going to have plenty of time to cheer for Auger-Aliassime.
So you think it'd be big Tom Murray?
I think so.
On his 12th ace, Auger-Aliassime gets out of trouble. 4-3 in a setup.
Love 15.
That's the first double fault for Andy Murray.
As this set is wearing on,
15-all.
Murray's controlling a few more of the points than he was in the first set. You can see it there. Helps that he's making first serves. First set, he was hitting virtually all second serves. See those forced errors all of a sudden. Yeah, maybe Murray's not hitting as many clean winners, but he's at least forcing things.
Quiet, please. Guys.
Honestly, Jimmy, if you were
15,
building like a tennis build, wouldn't it look something like this guy?
No question.
Right?
As I said, I showed him to the kids. I just said,
Yes.
look at him warm up. Watch.
Yes.
Perfect base. He's got it all. Felix Auger-Aliassime. If just learn how to win and learn how to sort of not give away important moments, because I still don't totally trust him right now in this match.
I think the perfect tennis build was Bjorn Borg.
No. Well, it keeps getting bigger, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, well, exactly. And I used to think Steffi Graf was the perfect build on the women's side. But yes, things have gotten bigger. But then this kid shows up, lean, 6'4", which is a lot bigger than Bjorn Borg was.
Yeah, this is your
right?
Yeah, it's 6'4", 6'5", and you still move as
Like
if you're
that?
6 feet. That's the new body type.
Right?
And in 20 years, it'll probably be 7'2", sprinting, changing directions. opportunity, obviously, for Auger-Aliassime. Murray starting to give it to his box a little. I had the pleasure of sitting in Murray's box once when he was very young, 19 years old or so. Brad Gilbert was coaching him. I sat next to Brad. Literally 3 points in, he loses a point, walks over to Brad and says, "Yeah, great adjective strategy, you idiot." Like, literally within 2 minutes of the match starting.
I've seen him call out his physio too when he starts like pulling up on a leg or something.
He's just been broken, and Auger-Aliassime is suddenly really in the driver's seat, looking.
Go down the line, yeah.
You could hear him mumbling. You could hear Serena Williams breathing hard.
Yeah, you could. That got tricky at the end.
It
Her
did.
match.
That was clutch. This is such a good second set against Margarita Gasparian. He would have beaten a bunch of players the way she was going at it. A reminder, Murray was looking to capitalize on Auger-Aliassime's serve.
The problem is he served well. I mean, he's serving better than I've ever seen him serve.
Me too. I guess maybe he really worked it over during the, the break. Because he's been experimenting, it seems, with just his stance. That stance right there.
Well, to me, it's also a little bit the rhythm. He goes down together, up together, but sometimes the up part with his right hand gets too quick. And when that happens, then everything gets thrown off for a little while. Right now, the rhythm's fine. Even that was the second serve, and he pumped it in there at 107 miles an hour. And it looked as though it was timed perfectly, but Murray with a great return. Maybe Murray's strategy is, you know what, I want to break the record of most comebacks from 2 sets to love down. So there's a bunch of people with 10. He wants to separate.
Stylish, classy, powerful performance from Felix Auger-Aliassime, the 20-year-old, a set away from a good-looking win.
Third set, Murray to serve.
You know, he's so quick and well balanced as Auger-Aliassime but he doesn't really want to play defense. That was a position he was in the court that maybe a little height, a little bit softer, get it in play. use your speed to get back in the point, but every ball has to be hit hard, it seems, from him.
Game Murray. First game, third set.
Four hours and 39 minutes was Andy Murray's first round match from 2 sets down. This match just about approaching the 1.5 hour mark.
So
This 15th base.
I mean, Chess keeps cracking first serves at a pretty good clip. 65% first serve percentage for the match, and he's not really holding back too often. He's not spinning any of these in. He fixes that part of his game. If he gets the serve that's pretty, it does. But it is one day.
I know.
And it's not done yet. We'll see if he makes it through.
Okay.
Then we'll.
That just looks much more reliable.
It does. That's just too relentlessly good and powerful and deep. I mean, Murray's got to find something out of the strike zone for Auger-Aliassime, but I'm not sure where that position is. High, low, deep, maybe the forehand corner. Feel as though Murray's slower, that this many aces are going by him in the 120-mile-an-hour range. It just feels as though that wouldn't have happened in the past.
He tends to spit back a lot of serves. Wow, 3 aces in that game. 15, 16, and 17.
One of the reasons I said if he keeps that serve, he does break serve, Auger-Aliassime, because he's aggressive with the returns and he's not that easy to ace. So when you're making first serves, he can still do that. That was one of the first points Murray stood up to Auger-Aliassime and tried to go power to power with him, and in the end took a little longer, but same result.
He could hit winners from everywhere.
Yeah. He's also very fast. I mean, that was a let cord, and he got there comfortably. Let's see where he started when this ball hit. He's 2 feet behind the baseline.
That's some first step on him, huh?
No problem. Controlled it as well. Again, this is the first game that Murray's sort of trying to go with some power himself. He's still stuck way behind the baseline, but he's swinging at it. He's not just redirecting the power. That return hasn't worked for Auger-Aliassime. When he tries to take the return early with his backhand, often in this match he's 2 feet inside and he doesn't get much on it, and now he's dead. He's in no man's land. He's trying to back up and get back on defense, but he's done better when he's run around and hit forehands on those second serve returns.
Mr. Murray, left near sideline. What's called out?
Ball was called wide, said Ramos.
It's twice.
Replay the moment.
Convinced about that stuff. I mean, you could be right, but I wouldn't be that sure.
I have to make a decision.
Yeah, for sure, but
he's using the making trouble moment right now.
It's on Judy's list. Yes, that's number one.
He handled it pretty well.
40-30.
Murray does a pretty good job of, he doesn't really have a kick serve. It's
what is
more
that?
of a slicey serve.
Kind of
but he goes sometimes 70 miles an hour, and that one was 95.
So just kind of a screwball-y type?
Kind of. And I guess he senses, hey, he's probably going to run around and rip a forehand here. I better put a little more on it. That's the one he's missed. Not played well often in this match, that backhand return.
His first ever match on a big stage. First time playing in Ash against the 2012 champion, and he's playing like a champion. Another ace for him. That's number 18. 126 miles an hour. Murray challenges Aliassime, standing in tight for that return.
How many matches do you think Andy Murray's played where he hasn't had a break point in a 3 out of 5 set match?
Boy, he hasn't had a break point.
I mean, that's unbelievable, really.
Jimmy, I didn't even notice that.
Uh-oh. Did I just throw an incredible jinx?
To this poor kid. It's only his second double. Gibson again. 19.
31.
Wow.
20.
44.
It's impressive simply because you remember Auger-Aliassime's history is that when he throws in a double, sometimes it gets in his head a little bit and it takes him some time to refine the rhythm.
Yeah.
He's getting out of a double fault immediately with back-to-back aces. No sort of yips in the head. 3 straight first serves.
2 games over. Third set.
Did Murray just do a look
a
away?
no look. Yeah, he did a no look.
You
And
can't do a no look and then just serve up a cream puff. I mean,
what? I mean, at this stage?
no. And it wasn't even a great. I mean, that was.
I won't ever see that no look again.
No.
15.
Good depth on the return, and then
15.
Aliassime recognizes the depth is going to cause some problems, steps up, and it continues to be overpowering, especially it's his 14th forehand winner.
For serve.
Murray has used his racket as a cane more than any other player
15-14.
over the years. You can hear it as he's running for this drop shot. He's slapping it on the ground. Break points. Murray hasn't seen one. Auger-Aliassime, pretty solid 50%. He's got another one here. Good stuff from Murray. One of the few last 2 points, he's controlled things.
Deuce.
He's made Auger-Aliassime scramble.
Left. For serve.
Fallen in love with the drop shot this game. It's his 3rd one. He did win the first 2.
Advantage Murray. Deuce.
It's a bit disappointing coming back from double break point down, gets himself an advantage, throws in a very meager 77-mile-an-hour attempted second serve into the middle of the net.
Missed.
Mr. Murray, nice challenge here on the right side.
And he's hoping it didn't, but it looked a little big.
No, I think he knows. He kind of threw his hand up. It was an angry challenge.
A weary challenge?
Just sick that I missed that, but I want to see it anyway.
Advantage. Mr. Murray has to challenge. Yes.
That was a tough, delicate shot and some pretty good speed. Ooh, that was close. Should have tried to go around the net post, maybe.
Advantage, Auger-Aliassime.
A little frustrating for Murray that time because he worked so hard, kept the ball low, so Auger-Aliassime wasn't really able to fully sink his teeth into it, and then you don't even test the passing shot. Normally Murray's a guy that he's going to make you hit a volley.
Does that do it? You gotta wonder the way Felix Auger-Aliassime's been serving. Most complete serving match to this point that Felix Auger-Aliassime has ever played. His 21st ace against one of the all-time great returners, and Murray hasn't even seen a break point. I mean, there's a stat we just showed you, but another stat that sort of is somewhat amazing is the total points won. It's 83-60. Absolute domination from Auger-Aliassime. It's almost as if this match isn't even as close as 6-2, 6-3 looks.
Game
9 aces in this set. He served 3 games. He served 3 times. He's hit 3 aces a game. It's tough to lose serve when your opponent doesn't touch the return.
He has really been belting Murray off the court.
It's funny because I keep thinking, it's Andy Murray. He's gonna find a way. He's gonna get out of trouble, and all those lessons from mom. But it doesn't feel like he can really control getting out of trouble here. It's almost as if Auger-Aliassime has to just have a little bit of a letdown to help him out. Speaking Spanish all of a sudden to his box. I don't know what he has nothing of, but he's got nothing.
Plenty of it.
Yeah.
30.
Best serving display I think we've ever seen from this young Canadian. He's serving at about 70%. He's had 23 aces. And that
15.
overall could have been 24. And this is a guy, if there's one thing to point at, one thing Murray was pointing at coming onto this court against Felix, it was going to try to capitalize on his serving. His serving has been dazzling.
Just tried to get in his head a little bit there, Murray. He was suddenly dancing behind the baseline. Going side to side a couple of times. Auger-Aliassime stared him down and just hit his 10th ace of the set. Tell you, life is so much easier when you're serving well, and for Auger-Aliassime, he's just so confident. He's always hitting the ground strokes big, but just the fact that he feels the serve today, hitting the spots when he needs it, makes everything easier.
Game was Auger-Aliassime. Auger-Aliassime leads 5 games to 3 in 3 sets.
Maybe Murray should try if he holds serve here. The ploy I used once against Brad Gilbert.
Let's hear it.
He was serving at literally 95% first serve percentage. He's up 7-6, 5-4, something like that, and the change ends. And I just say, Brad, congratulations. You never miss a first serve anymore. It's amazing. On the changeover, and he just goes, yeah, thanks. I am serving well. And he kept doing it. He beat me 6-6, I think. Whatever it was, it just didn't faze him at all. It's worth the try. Gilbert actually thought I was complimenting him. You don't see many overrules any longer, do you? That was an overrule. And Murray wants to make sure the umpire saw it properly. It's right in front of him, and he did see it properly.
15 all games. One challenge. One challenge. 30.
That is such an effective shot that Murray hit there. He's hit it twice now in the last few games. That short little cross-court slice. Two-handers don't like the ball down there short. They often have to come in when they don't want to. Federer's made a living with that shot. Oh.
So, but in an empty Ash Stadium, Felix Auger-Aliassime has shown us the fullness of his young game. Go all the way back to Cincinnati 2015 when in the semifinals against Roger Federer, Andy Murray could not scare up one break point.
Yeah, and that was a 2 out of 3 set match. 6-4, 7-6 win for Federer. This is 3 out of 5 sets. That was a stat given to us by Harold Hecht, our producer. When I'd ask when was the last time you think Andy Murray didn't have a break point?
Yeah.
And then
Go to Harold.
Harold gave us the answer. Challenge coming, but
30 love.
2 points away.
Mr. Murray has no challenges remaining.
Against goes to serve 130, 140, need to block return something.
Murray seems to think that the serve of Auger-Aliassime is going 130 or 140. He hit 130 once.
That smash brings Auger-Aliassime to match point.
40
The most complete match he's ever played from start to finish. I feel like what we just saw, and maybe this is the start of him really making his way up into the very top of the game.
Again, we've seen him play great, but
now
never
without
seen him have,
letdowns.
well, not at a major. You know, he's not had a major run. Listening display by 20-year-old Felix Auger-Aliassime against the man he first saw play here at the U.S. Open when he was just a little kid.